You're listening to Storage Nerds Podcast, where we unravel the best-kept secret of the real estate investing world, the storage industry. Join the grassroots guru in self-storage, Stacy Rossetti, in insightful discussions about finding, funding, and running these spaces, allowing you to yield the highest returns possible. Get your foot in the door on self-storage and discover how to properly purchase facilities, negotiate with sellers, and close the deal without worries. Start unpacking that investment wisdom with Stacy right now.
I just wanted to make an announcement, a couple of announcements to get started. First of all, we are going to be launching this week the Self-Storage Fund of America. And I'm really excited about this. This is like a year working on this thing for a year. This is a year of my life trying to get this thing launched. So the Self-Storage Fund of America is ready to start, doing work and taking care of this. Let me see here. So here is, let me get into this here. Let me get out of this Zoom thing. Okay. Right here, the Self-Storage Fund of America. So if you go to self-storagefundofamerica.com, then you can check it out. I'll be pitching it. I'm going to start pitching it this week. So this is a year of my life of trying to put this thing together. And basically, the way it works is, this is what I've learned over the course of the last 5 years of investing in self-storage, okay? The first thing is that a lot of people are just like you and me. They just want to get started in self-storage investing, and they only can afford, they can only afford so much. So a lot of people, they, in their mind, they think, okay, I can only afford, a couple $100,000, or maybe, up to $1 million or whatever it is. Like I can afford to put 20% down on my facility. And so maybe I have $50,000 or $100,000. And so in their mind, they're thinking that's the 20% down. And then I have to come up with the 80% in order to get the deal done. This is typically like how most people think. And the truth of the matter is most people can come up with $50,000 or $100,000, right? So a lot of times in the real estate investing world, in the stores, and especially in the self-storage investing world, if you can come up with 50 or 100,000 or maybe even 200,000, then that really kind of limits you to how much commercial real estate you can buy. So a lot of times your first facility that you buy is a small one, right? I know this because this is what I did. My first facility was $250,000 facility, and so I noticed as I've been doing this over the last 5 years is that most people, they want to get started with their first facility. It's a small facility, it's like, a couple $100,000. And then in the other perspective, and the other part of the industry is like the people that you hear all the time on all the podcasts, and you hear all these big players out there with like $100 million in asset, and all they want is like storage facilities that are 50,000 square feet and 60 and 70 and 80,000 square feet, right? And so then they are really good at raising money. They're good at, finding, purchasing big deals, maybe syndication, having a fund, and purchasing these $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 million facilities. And so you have these like kind of like two ends of the spectrum. You have the ones that are like us, they just want to get their foot in the door and they want to get started in self-storage investing. They don't know really what to do, and they know that they can afford only so much, and they want to buy like a smaller facility. And then you have the other side where it's like, don't ever buy anything small because you never make any money and you only want to go big, 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 right? But the truth of the matter is that there's this kind of like sweet spot in the middle. I've learned this over the last couple of years. And it really kind of works very well in secondary to tertiary markets, but mostly in like secondary markets. And there's this kind of like this sweet spot of like maybe $1 million to $3 million facilities. And you guys know from following me that I I buy mismanaged facilities. I focus on mismanaged facilities. We like to buy facilities that are dumpy facilities. They're not managed properly. And then over the course of the year, a year to 18 months or 2 years, we get them up and running, and we double, if not triple, the value of those properties. And that's kind of what we've been doing. And that's, that the 11 properties that we have, we will definitely be doing that. There's only one or two properties that we have that will actually add units on. So we don't do a lot of value add by adding units. We value add by really kind of cleaning the property up and managing it properly and getting the properties to the top to the top price per square foot that it can possibly be. Okay, that's kind of our goal. And you can do this in the $1 million to $3 million properties. And they're out there, and I find these all the time. I find properties that are $1 million or $2 million or $3 million, and they're like, they're 50 to 75% full, and they have a lot of opportunity to be value added and to double, sometimes even triple the value of the property. But the truth of the matter is that those types of facilities that are mismanaged facilities that are 50 to 75% full, or say 75% full or less, are really hard to fund. They're really, really hard to fund. And I know this because I have several properties right now. I have one property under contract. It's $1 million. It's about 180 units. It's under contract for $1 million, which is a great price because it's valued at like 1.5, 1.6, $1.7 million. I have it under contract for $1 million, but the owner, he does not have a P&L on the balance sheet. He has no numbers to give at all because he's only been taking cash. And I come across these types of properties all the time. And I call this the sweet spot. I call it the sweet spot in the storage investing world. And these types of facilities are very, very hard to fund. So essentially what I've learned over the past couple of years is that in order to purchase properties like this, you have to be very, very good at raising money, or you have to have your own money, right? But a lot of people don't have $1 million or $2 or $3 million that they can invest in. They have like a couple $100,000, and that's it. And maybe if you have a couple $100,000, let's say you have $200,000, you can really only go and buy. You can buy $1 million property. I mean, that's 20% down, but it's $1 million property that's an income producing property, not $1 million property that's a mismanaged facility, right? If you know what I mean. So so that is what the Self Storage Fund of America is for. And I'm really excited about this. So it's going to be to be able to fund the types of properties that I buy right now, but from the $1 million to $3 million range. And they're going to be mismanaged facilities, right? Mismanaged facilities would be like, maybe 75% full or less, or my description of a mismanaged facility, honestly, is that the owner will not provide or cannot provide a P&L, balance sheet, tax return, or rent roll, right? And the reason they can't provide that a lot of the times is because they've been taking cash, right? They've been taking cash and checks, and that's it. Or they just haven't really been good at like taking them, running the numbers and stuff. And the truth of the matter is that in the commercial real estate world, your property is based on the value of the income of the property. And if you can't prove that, then the value is not there. But there's a different play. And then the players in the company and the players in the industry have created this kind of competition, right? So where, now you have like all these players coming into the industry, and so these facility owners and these people that have these types of businesses, they know what the value of the property is worth. It's just that they can't show the numbers for that. So I created the Self Storage Fund of America in order to buy mismanaged facilities that I know I can double, if not triple, the value of the property within a year to 2 years, depending on how bad the facility is run, right? And then, these types of facilities require debt, right? And I can't go to a bank and get a loan. Now, if it was like 75% or full, right, then I could go to a bank and get a loan. and maybe leverage the money even inside the fund. But a lot of times these facilities, like I have one facility right now, which is more, it's just less than $1 million, but essentially it's $400,000. And I picked it up, and he's only making like $27,000 a year, and he has nothing to show for. I mean, he doesn't have anything to show for it at all, but he's saying he's making probably around $2,000 a month or so. Okay. And I come across these properties all the time. So that is what the fund is for. So again, for everybody that's just hopping on, the Self-Storage Fund of America is launched as of today, as of Valentine's Day. And I am really excited. I'm gonna start pitching it this week. I've never pitched a fund before, so it's gonna be like, it's kind of, I'm very nervous, but I'm also very excited at the same time. I'm not gonna pretend to know, like, to be one of these guys that, that knows what they're doing with anything. Like, I'm here, I know how to run like storage facilities and manage storage facilities. And it's so funny because I hired a consultant to help me put this together. And he was like, we need to put the fund together based on what you guys do best. You guys buy mismanaged facilities and you turn them around and flip them and you make them worth a lot of money. Right. And so this is what we're going to base the fund on, the financial model of the fund. And so that's what we did. And so, yeah, I'm really excited. We're going to launch this thing this week, and I'm going to start pitching it this week. So make sure you guys are all on our email list if you're interested. Then you can at least hear me out, right, and see if it's something that you guys are interested in. And then also, then you could hear me as well too, because I know a lot of you guys that are listening to me, you're all newbies, and you're like, I don't even know what a fund is, and all this kind of stuff. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And the truth of the matter is that what you need to do is listen in and hear what I'm talking about, not only to the Monday sessions that I do every Monday, but also to all the pitches that I do. I'm always pitching all my deals, so you can always anybody can hop on and just listen in and see how I do that, see what I have to offer. And even for this fund as well too, listen in, hop on and see what I have to offer, and just learn, listen and learn. So anyway, so I'm going to be pitching that. We hired a CFO this year, and he's going to hop on and he's going to help me pitch, and we're going to go through and for the first couple of times, answer everybody's questions, really kind of get the kinks out of my pitch. And, and then that way I can get out there and really start, really start pitching the thing and trying to raise the money. So, but, so that is one of the announcements that I have, is the Self-Storage Fund of America. You are more than welcome to check it out, check me out, and listen in. Okay. And then also, so for today, what I wanted to talk about, I'm going to stop share here. And today what I wanted to talk about was this past weekend. So this past weekend for Storage Nerds, which is my coaching program, it's called Storage Nerds. And for anybody here that's new, I see a couple of students that are on here. For Storage Nerds, we did an Infield Training day this weekend. It was so fun. It was so much fun. I love getting out and driving around and like looking for storage facilities and like talking to owners and this kind of thing. So I'm going to kind of tell you what happened and how we did what we did, and we had some really great results. And then we're going to be putting some offers in. So I wanted to just go over that with you as well too. So I'm going to spotlight myself. Let me see. Yeah. And okay, good. So everybody's kind of hopping on. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Again, I'm Stacy Rossetti, and I teach people how to invest in self-storage. And basically, I'm the person here that gets your foot in the door, right? I'm the one that's going to help you get your foot in the door. And then if you want to be like me and live in an RV and travel around and own storage facilities, awesome, great. And if you want to be like the big wigs and get out there and own $100 million in storage facilities, more power to you, right? And I have like lots of students that I've trained on both sides of the spectrum, literally, like, both sides. And I have a student right now that's putting an offer in for a facility that's like $50,000. And I have a student that just literally closed on a facility that was $3 million. So I can help you with all different types of aspects of investing. Personally, we own 11 storage facilities. We focus on the secondary and tertiary markets, and we focus on smaller facilities, probably between like 100 to 250 units, right? Which again is kind of that sweet spot that like it's hard to fund a lot of these types of deals on the back end. And those are kind of the ones that I focus on. Okay. And I focus on mismanaged facilities, the ones that that need a lot of work. And my husband handles that. And then my husband, so we do like find them, fund them, run them, right? So we're going to talk today about find them, right? Finding them. And I actually have an acquisitions person. His name is Chris, and he's the one that finds them. And we are in the process right now of building up our acquisitions team. And I just hired 2 VAs over the last couple of weeks to help us build this up. And our goal is to offer a turnkey solution to our students. That's really the purpose of building the acquisitions team out. I'm really, really excited about this too. So all students that come in, we'll get with them and we'll find out what they want, what they're looking for, and then we'll be able to help them find storage facilities. That way I can help my students become more successful, right? I want to have an awesome success rate in my coaching program. And so the way that I can do that is by helping them to find storage. So Find Them is Chris and his team that we're building out. Chris has been working with me for about 1.5 years. We bought 6 facilities last year. So he's doing an awesome job. And now we're going to build this acquisitions team out, which is going to be awesome. And then I do the funding part. So you just heard me like pitching Self-Storage Fund of America. That is my job. My job is to find the money to do all the things that we want to do. And then my husband runs them, right? And we are actually very vertically integrated within our company. And we have a management team that we're building out right now because we're growing so fast. And in fact, we are actually in the process of creating a management company where they will be managing all of our facilities plus the funds facilities. And because we're growing and we're growing so fast, we're trying to figure that all out, and like how we're going to set all that up as well too. So as you grow, and I've only been doing this for 5 years, and I'm telling you, if I could do it, anybody could do it, right? It's just that it takes time and effort, and then as we grow, we're building out. And the thing that I do really, really well, honestly, is I hire people to help me do these things, like to tell me what to do. So for instance, I just hired a CFO. Right? Because like I need somebody to tell me, like, are these deals good for the fund? Are these deals good for Miss Lillian self-storage? Right? What's the best strategies for us? Like, so I'm not the type of person to sit there and just figure it all out myself. I'm just not, honestly. I'm just not. I need like an expert to tell me. And I've gotten to that. I've learned that over the course of the years. For the last 10 years, I've always had people tell me what to do. And so I just listen to them and do it. That's why I'm here. Okay. All right. So now let's get into the Infield Training Day. Okay. So I told you this. So I told you we're building out the finding part of our company, right? Miss Lillian Self-Storage, or whatever you want to call it, Storage Nerds or Self-Storage Fund of America. We're building it out. And so we ended up hiring this person. Her name is Karen. And she's from the Philippines. And I tested working with her first. Okay. And I gave her a couple of like very simple tasks to see what she could do. In fact, one of the tasks that I gave her was to create a competition tracker sheet. I'm not going to show you that, but it was awesome. She put this like amazing spreadsheet together, all 11 of our properties and all the competition, what they're charging for every unit, pictures of the units, website. I mean, she just went like all out on this amazing, beautiful spreadsheet. And she sent me the spreadsheet, and I was just like in awe, because the one way to my heart is not through the stomach, it's through the spreadsheet. I'm just going to tell you all that. Okay. And if you do a good spreadsheet, man, I'm going to just love you forever. And so anyway, so she put this like spreadsheet together, and I opened it up and started looking at it. I was like, my gosh, this is the most beautiful spreadsheet in the world. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't want to let this girl go. That's for sure. So I gave her another task, and I tested her on that task, and she just did amazing. And so then, and I gave her one more task, and I'm gonna show you this task. And then and after she did this task, I was like, that's it. I got to hire you full time. You are going to be the person that, one of the people that helps us to build out our acquisitions department. All right. And so anyway, so I hired her. She's from the Philippines. I found her on Upwork, right? So upwork.com is a place where like freelancers come to put, to look for jobs. And so I basically just had like, I'm looking for like market research, in the real estate field, and I need somebody that can put a spreadsheet together. And then she was one of the ones that was, and actually what I usually do is I just like sort them in order of like hourly rate. And she was like one of the ones at the top, like the cheapest ones, you know what I'm saying? So I went through the first, like anywhere from $5 an hour to like, $8 an hour was my budget for this. Okay. And I figured it'd take like a couple of days to do it or something like that. Okay. And so I found her and I said, I'd be very interested in, and she wrote, like, when she wrote me, it was like to me, because it really kind of annoys me when people just like on Upwork, they'll just have like a generic reply to everything. Like, and you could just tell that it's just like to anybody and everybody. But she specifically wrote me a very nice email. And she's like, "Dear Stacy, I'd really be interested in like working with you. I've done some market research before and I've done this and this," whatever she put or whatever. It was like a very specific email. And she referred back to what I said in my post and everything. Right. I was like, "I'd really like to interview you." So I interviewed her. I set up a time. I set up a time with her, and she came on. And the one thing I love too is when like people like turn their cameras on and they have their cameras on to talk to me, because most people, you guys all know this, do not turn their cameras on. And it's kind of annoying to me because I always have my camera on and I want people to see me face to face. In fact, I talk to owners online just like this. Whenever there's somebody that, I want to buy a storage facility from, I ask them if they could just hop on Zoom so I can meet them personally. And most of the time they do. I'm just very like, if we can't be face to face because we're traveling or like, COVID or whatever, I want to still see you and I want you to see me and I want you to know I'm a real person. And so that's what Karen did, is like she came on immediately. She had her camera on. She was just sitting there waiting for me. And it was like, it's in the Philippines. And I think our meeting was like 3:00 in the afternoon, my time, which is like 3:00 in the morning, her time. So she was up ready to have the interview at 3 a.m. at her time. Okay. Which also is very like, very, it's like, oh, that's good, So anyways, but, so we talked to each other, and I wanted to hear how her English was. And I spoke to her, and her English was very, very well. And in fact, she had already like had a couple of like sales and marketing jobs and done some cold calling. So she already knew how to talk on the phones and everything, and stuff like this. And so I said, "Okay, well, this is your job. Just, this is what I want you to do." And I showed her exactly what I want to do, which I'm going to show you in just a second. And then it took her a couple of days to do it, and it looked awesome. And so I'm really pleased with her job and her work, and I'm looking forward to working with her. I think she could be a great asset to the team, and she's very excited about coming full time on. And she basically told me when I talked to her, she's like, "Look, I'm looking for work." She's like, "I need money. I need to work. I will do the best I possibly can, but I need an income to come in." And so I said, "Sure, yeah, let's do it." So and I talked to her, and $7 an hour is actually quite good over there. And I just had an interview with another person. His name is Nikolai as well too. And I talked to him. I said, "Is it $7? Okay?" And he said, $7. That would be awesome. Can I get $7 an hour? He was like so excited about $7 an hour. So anyway, $7 an hour is quite a lot of money over in the Philippines. And okay, so anyway, so Karen is now like working for us, and I'm going to show you exactly what she did. So basically, I'm showing you how we found 10 owners in one day and that wanted to sell. This is exactly our process. I hired somebody to do this. All right. Okay. You excited? If you're excited, put yes in the comments. So at least I know you're excited. Okay. So let me move this out of the way. Okay. Now, first things first, what I did is I gave her the area that I was interested in buying storage. All right. And I just did that on Google Maps. Okay. So I went to Google Maps, and actually what I wanted to do is I wanted to set up the route of which we're going to drive and find all the storage facilities, for my Infield Training Day. So basically, for Storage Nerds, which is my coaching program, we do an Infield Training Day like once every couple of months. And it really just depends on where I'm at, where we're going to do the Infield Training Day. Because, I live in an RV and travel full time. And so we happen to be in the Austin area right now. I'm originally from Austin, so we were going to, hang out here and visit family for a little bit. And as you can see, I'm over here, and this is Open Air Resorts. Is this like RV park that we're at? And we're in the Spicewood area outside of Austin. All right, so I'm going to zoom out. And that's Pete. Pete's not here because Pete's taking Lillian to a ninja class. Lillian is my daughter. She's 5 years old. That's we own Miss Lillian Self Storage, and Lillian is my daughter. And Pete is with Lillian at the ninja class. She does a ninja class. Little ninjas. It's like it's like ninjas, like not like karate chopping, but like the ninja course where you like jump around and you do like the climb up the walls and stuff like that. That's what she does. Okay, anyway, so he's there and I'm here. Okay, so what I wanted to do for the Infield Training Day, we had 16 people like come into Austin to spend the day with me, and I wanted to create a route for them of storage facilities that we could go to that may be interested in selling. Okay, that was basically the goal of this project that Karen was helping us with. Okay, and to find owners that want to sell. Okay, so what I told Karen was that I wanted to start in Liberty Hill. All right, and then I wanted to drive to like Buchanan Dam. Let me see, Buchanan Dam, and then to Marble Falls, and then back home to Spicewood. Okay, so as you can see, this is our route right here. So we started in Liberty Hills. We went through Bertram, Burnett, Buchanan. Actually, I told her to go to Llano. Let me see, we can add Llano. I don't know how to even say it, but let's see. We can go to Llano and then go to Marble Falls and then head back up to drop everybody off. Okay, so that was basically the route. So I gave her this route, and I gave her all of the towns that I was interested in buying in. Okay, so Liberty Hill, Bertram, Oatmill, you could see Oatmill, Burnett, Buchanan Dam, Bluffton, Llano, Kingsland, Granite Shoals, Horseshoe Bay, Marble Falls, Smithwick maybe. So these kind of like these towns here. This is the area that I was interested in. And so then once I gave her this and I said, all I need you to do is just find all the storage facilities on Google Maps and get me the contact information and put it into a spreadsheet. Okay. So let's just say, for instance, we do Liberty Hill. Okay. So now we I got to get out of here and then do Liberty Hill. And then I just told her, I said, just go to storage near me. Okay. And find all of the storage facilities. And so obviously this is Liberty Hill. Now, Liberty Hill is right outside of like Leander. Liberty Hill, I would say, is like a secondary market. right? And this is really like this area right here is really, because you can see public storage is here. It's creeping on up. It's creeping on up. When you see a public storage, extra space storage, you know, extra space is right here. You know that that is a primary market. And then you start getting out here, and this is like, you know, one owners, right? So easy stop storage, right space. Now here's a CubeSmart. See, CubeSmart's coming on out here, right? So it could be like a primary to a secondary market, because Austin is moving this way. This is the area where there's like so much construction and just so much growth in this area. And you guys all know your areas. You know your areas around you, okay? And so you have to look at the areas around you. You have to figure out this space. You know what I'm saying? You have to figure this out for you. Where's the primary market? Where's the secondary market? And where is the tertiary market? Okay. And so I just knew that like this is really a secondary market, and then going out to Bertram is going to become like a tertiary market. And this is more tertiary to tertiary, and a whole bunch of, I mean, honestly, there is a whole bunch of nothing in between here and the lake. It's so funny. I mean, this is like just open air, open, beautiful, like rolling hills in this area. And I think this all will eventually become developed, because I'm in a Spicewood area, and really Spicewood is going to be the next area. Spicewood to Marble Falls is going to be definitely the next area. But I think over time, this area coming out to Buchanan and to like this Horseshoe Bay and this lake out here, this is all going to be growing. I mean, this is a great area to invest in. And you guys all know these types of areas in your markets. Okay. This is the same thing, these types of areas. So I'm in the areas where like, I just know eventually they're going to be good in 10 years. What is this place going to look like in 10 years? You know, and typically they're going to hold on to a storage facility for 10 years. I mean, 10 years is not a lot of time, honestly. 10 years is not a lot of time. Okay. All right. Anyway, so this is what she did, is she basically just said storage near me. And then she started to put all of the Liberty Hill storage facilities that were on Google Maps onto a spreadsheet. And this is what she came up with. Let me see. I'm going to show you this spreadsheet right here. And I'm going to show you kind of how she did this. Let me see. Yeah, so here's Liberty Hill. So you could see here, right, that she has Liberty Hill, Bertram, Burnett, Oatmill, Buchanan, Bluffton, Llano, Kingsland, Granite Shoals, Marble Falls, right? All the areas, the towns that I just gave her. I said, I just want to know every storage facility in this area. And she just went in and she just found all of these facilities right here, all of these facilities from Google Maps. And then she put them onto the spreadsheet. Okay. And then on the spreadsheet, you can see here that she has the name of the storage facility, the address, the contact number, the email address, the website, if it has a website or not. I like to put that. And if there's an email address or not, I like to put that, right? And she'll look that stuff up. And if it doesn't have a website, that is a clue to me that maybe it's not managed properly. So for instance, look at this Liberty Hill boat and RV storage, no website, and a 1-star review, one star, 1 review. All right. And then of course, when Chris called, right, because after we put the spreadsheet together, Chris called, and on this one, no answer. All right. So that is a clue to me that is a good storage facility to call. All right. That's a good storage facility to call. Now, she went through Liberty Hill to Bertram. She went Bertram. She went Burnett, Oatmill, Buchanan, Damon, Bluffton, Llano, Kingsland, Granite Shoals, Marble Falls. Now, as you can see, if you click on let's go to one here. Llano just has one, And actually, I don't know if she put this one down. Yeah, she may have put this one down, but blue canopy, and it has no answer, voicemail, not set up. How many stars? 0, 0. Okay. And and then like if you go to Llano, so you can see here, Bertram is here, Burnett's here, Buchanan Dam is here, which is a beautiful area. And then over here is Llano, right? And then we have the Kingsland area, which is kind of a little bit run down. There's a lot of storage facilities in Kingsland, though. And then Granite Shoals. Marble Falls is growing very fast. Granite Shoals is maybe like a suburb of Marble Falls, which is a little bit less nicer. And then over here along the water, this like Horseshoe Bay, Cottonwood Shores is a very, very nice. It's growing very quickly, this right around this water and stuff. And so anyways, and so if we go to like, if we go here to Llano and we say search this area, as you can see, like we'll back out a little bit. Let's just back out just a tad. Okay. And then we'll say search nearby. And this is the only storage facility that's coming up, right? And then we could go to Llano. Let's see, Llano, Texas. And we could do nearby, and then we could do storage. And Llano is actually really not a small town, honestly. So Blue Canopy is the only one that comes up. But if you do population, and actually that's one thing I was going to add for her to search as well too, was the population. But like if you do Llano, I can't see because this Zoom thing is in the way. Hang on. Okay, there you go. Llano population. Because I look up population a lot on towns, honestly. 3443. So it's actually a pretty big city for for a little tiny town in Texas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in this area, that's like a good, it's a good sized city. I know it seems like not a lot, but it's a good sized city. And actually, so when we looked at the storage facility, when we looked at the spreadsheet, I was like, Llano only has one storage facility. There is no way. That's like a big town, right? And so I said, Chris, I said, you've got to start looking on satellite imagery, and you've got to start looking for storage, right? Because, and I call that the hidden market. I mean, essentially is what I do. I call that the hidden market. But what you do is you're going to go into Llano or into these towns where you don't find that many, and then you're going to try to search around and see if you can find some storage, right? And you're going to get in here on satellite imagery, and you're going to just search. I mean, it's a little tiny town. It's not like it's going to take that much work and effort to try to get out there and try to find. And so Chris got in here and he started looking around for storage, and he found like 4 other storage facilities here just by looking through the town like this and seeing if he can find one. So for instance, here's one right here. This is definitely a storage facility. All right. So we'll zoom in. Okay. Maybe I'll zoom out a little bit. We're going to drop our little guy right here and say hi, and then jump right over and see if we could see what this looks like. There is a storage facility right here. That's a good looking storage facility. It looks like it's called All Star Storage, and it's got the phone number there. But you see, this is a good, and looks kind of older. You know what I'm saying? This is the older looking storage facility. And I mean, it's a good size. It's paved. There's no fence around it, but I mean, it's a nice looking storage facility. Let's see here. And so he obviously we put this on the list. We don't have it on the storage, but we printed it out to drive by and check it out. But so I have not taught Karen yet how to do this. I have not taught Karen how to look for the hidden market on Google Maps yet, but I will be teaching her. That's the next step, is to teach her how to find storage facilities that are not on Google Maps. And then that way she can add them to her sheet here. All right. But that is what Chris, as of right now, that is what Chris does. So Chris's job is to find off-market properties, or like the hidden market storage facilities. and then put them on the spreadsheet. Okay. So anyway, so that's kind of gives you tips on how we did that. Now, as you can see here, so like in Marble Falls, and what he did is Chris, after he got the sheet from Karen, Chris's job is to call every single one of these facilities. So it took Karen a day to put this list together. I mean, it took her like one day. That was it. So 7 times 8 is $56. So it cost us like $56 for her to put this list together for us of every single storage facility on Google Maps that she could find. And she did a great, fantastic job, right? And so then it's Chris's job to call every single one of these facilities. That's his job, okay, as of right now. Now, eventually, we'll get Chris and Nikolai to be calling and talking to the people, but for now, and especially like as in the first step, you know, to see if anybody actually wants to sell. But as of right now, Chris does this. And Chris is just really good on the phone, honestly, and people love to talk to Chris. People just really like him. And he is a very personable person. All right, on the phone. If you are not a personable person on the phone, then you need to just find somebody that's personable. I was talking to one of my students earlier today, and he drove around and he found like all the storage facilities within the area, and he found a good like handful of them, and then he tried to call them, and they all just said no, we don't want to sell, right? And so he just gives up. Right. And that what I told him was that, like, essentially, you're probably not good on the phone. Right. You're probably not the person that needs to be on the phone, because if people are saying no to you, then you're not doing it correctly. Okay. You're not the right person on the phone. So find the right phone person is what I'm saying. Okay. And so Chris is very, very good on the phone, and he called all of the owners. He called all of them. There's 60 people on this list. He called them all in one day. He called every single one of them. And so as you can see on the list, it's his notes are here, right? So you could see for Marble Falls, he called every single one of these, all 6 of them. And he left voicemails. He left a message with the manager, not interested. He got an email from somebody, but they weren't interested in selling, but he always tries to get the emails so that he can send them a quick email as well too. Like we send letters out. We'll send letters to all of these people is what we'll do. And then on top of that, we will also, and that's what I wanted to show you here. We haven't added it to this list yet, but essentially, we call them, we text them, and we send a letter to them as well too. And then we could probably have like, when is the next follow-up? Yeah, we could put this on here, and as we use this sheet, we'll just add more stuff or whatever. When is the next time that we're going to follow up or whatever? And we'll keep track of it that way. And then as you can see, like right here, this Homestead Client Control, Nash Builders is owner, look them up and contact to make an offer. So he's making, and then as you can see, we have how many stars, Google reviews, bad or good, right? It's kind of what we do. Like, so they've got 3 stars, 1 good, 1 bad, right? So our job is to look at all the information that Google Maps provides us and to utilize that data to the best of our ability to be able to find owners and to contact them. Okay. And Marble Falls Self-Storage is not interested. It's 3.8 stars, and they've got 3 good reviews and 1 bad review, right? So she's going through and she's adding all this. Karen is doing all that for us. And actually, that's what I was going to do. I was going to do population also as well too. I'm going to tell her to do population. Storage facility. Actually, you know what? I think what we're going to do is we're going to just do, as I'm thinking about this, usually what Chris and I do is we name this and then we put the population population right next to it like that too. Okay, so we'll put the number, the population there. So I'm going to remind her, so look up every single one of these and let us know what the population of that town is. Now that population is just like the town, honestly, so like you saw 37 or whatever, 4,000 people for Orlando, but within a 10-mile radius, I mean, that population is going to be even more. It's going to be like a lot of, it's probably like 30, 40,000 people. But because that's like just a little tiny town or whatever, what I'm saying? But at least it kind of gives us an idea, what I'm saying? Gives us an idea. Now, okay, so also what I wanted to show you was like there was a couple of towns like Bluffton. She could not find any storage facilities on Google Maps, so this one was left blank. And Oatmeal, there was no storage facilities, right? So here is, let me see, let's go back to the maps. And by the way, in Llano, like we found like 4 storage facilities in Llano that were not on Google Maps. And then also one of my students, because I gave them homework, and their homework was to find off-market properties. That was the homework. And he found 3 other facilities. So there's a total of at least minimum 9 facilities in Llano, and only one of them is on Google Maps. Do you know how much of an opportunity that is? A great opportunity. All right. A great opportunity. Okay. So anyways, so I was going to go to, what was this one here? Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So Oatmeal, and let's see, what was the other one that she didn't find anything in? You can see it looks like mountains, but this is called the hill country is what it's called. It's a very beautiful hill country. And okay, I guess I must have clicked on like terrain or something. I'm not sure, but no, you can kind of see the terrain. That's kind of cool. So anyways, Oatmeal's right here, right? This is Oatmeal, which is a little tiny town. There's no storage in this area. And then also, what was the other one that she picked? Let me see. I clicked stop. Hang on. Let's see. Storage facilities here. And which one was this one? I'm not sure what to do with this like Zoom thing. It like always gets in the way. Okay, Bluffton. Oh yeah, Bluffton. Right here is Bluffton is actually right here. It's a little tiny town, and I've driven up this road to Bluffton. There's actually a lot, and actually there's a lot of boat and RV parking right here. That's not on Google Maps. I know for sure. We did not get to go up. We didn't look up here a lot, but there is a lot of boat and RV parking here. So it's just not on Google Maps, especially when you get around lakes and stuff like this. Like there's definitely got to be like some sort of boat and RV parking along here, but it just doesn't come up on Google Maps. Anyways, okay, so that is basically what we did. So now we have like a list of all these storage facilities, right? 60 of them that Chris calls in a day. And he was just like, I just called 60 storage facilities. And I was like, actually what I said was, man, wasn't Karen's like spreadsheet awesome? It's like the most beautiful spreadsheet in the world. And he was like, I just called 60 storage facilities. And I was like, we have such a great team, don't we? And so that's a lot to call. I know I've called storage before. That's a lot of work to call storage facilities, and I get it. Nobody wants to do it, but I'm telling you, it's the best way to find owners. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Liberty Hill. Okay, and so as you can see in orange, Chris has highlighted these. Chris has highlighted all the potential storage facilities, all the owners that said yes. I'll take an offer. Okay. Or something good actually. So we can look through here. And so we see Storage King, he left a message with the manager. Let's see what else. And then this one will sell in a few years. The owner's name is Susan, and has an auto shop and a storage. So these are the ones I said, just highlight the ones that you think would be good for us to go by on like our route is what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, go by. Which ones are going to be good to go by on the route? And so these are the ones, and you can see he left a lot of voice messages, wrong number. This one is like no reviews, international storage system is like not in service. So that would be a good one to start, like maybe to skip trace or try to figure out how to get a hold of, and then libertyhillparking.com. Scott currently building the property and is going to start with storage space and then try to add some new ones. So he talked to Scott. Scott was like, "Oh no, I'm just building right now," But he got to talk to the owner. You know what I'm saying? He got to talk to him, and so those are like, for us, those are like pluses essentially. And this is like me telling him like any ones you think might be good for us to just go check out. And for my students to go check them out, right? And then, as you can see here, Sunny Hill RV boat and storage. This is the one that its owner Bob called him and waiting to hear back. William's the manager, and he said the owner has entertained offers in the past. All right, so that was like basically what the notes are. And I said any of them that you think may be a good one that like maybe the owner would take an offer, put it into a different color. Right? Put it into a different color. And so that's what he did. And so from there, I basically just went through and like every single one that he put in orange, right, were the ones that we decided to go and check out. He said these are all facilities that would entertain an offer, that would be open to having an offer. And this is just by them just us calling and saying, would you be okay with us just sending an offer, which is basically what we do. And then out of all of these names, I said, is there anybody that would let us, come to their facility and go around and check it out? And does anybody actually want offers like immediately right now, And out of all of the names, he found 5 facilities that would want to have an offer like immediately, as in like in the next couple of days. And out of those 5, I said, which of those will allow us to come to the facility and he will meet us there and actually talk to us? And out of those 5, so 2 of them were owned by one person, and he wants to sell both of them. And he was out of town this weekend, so he couldn't meet us. And then 2 of them, one of them, the owner said, my son's going to be there working, so just swing by anytime and he can give you a tour. But yes, we do want to sell. And so we did. We stopped by and we talked to the son and got a tour of the facility. And actually, Matt was there. A couple of people were there. And then also one of them met us, was like, yeah, I live like 5 minutes away, just let me know and I'll just swing by and introduce. He's like, I was never thinking about getting an offer, but if you want to sell, I'm always open to getting an offer. He's like, I just live 5 minutes away, so just let me know when you get there and I'll meet you. Because I told Chris, I said, look, tell the owners, like we're literally driving for storage and we're talking to as many owners as we can. And I have all my, my partners and lenders and everybody with me. And we're out looking for storage. So if you're interested, then let us come over, and talk to you. And so one owner was like, yeah, I live 5 minutes away. I'll take an offer. I'll meet you and show you around and stuff. So we met him and spent like a half an hour there, and he showed us his facility. He's got climate control, not climate control. His name was Ron, and he told us the history, and he was just like the nicest guy in the entire world, and just like totally just was like very friendly, which is like most storage facility owners anyways. And he was like, I was never thinking about like getting an offer, but if you want to make me an offer, make me an offer. So he gave me he gave me his unit sizes, but he says that he has no idea what his total square footage is. He doesn't really know what he's charging. He says it's all over the place, but he'll entertain an offer, right? So, and then right next door to him was another storage facility. She wants to sell as well too, but she couldn't meet us that Saturday. She could not meet us. And so we will be working on putting an offer in for her. And And then one guy also had a boat and RV storage place, and he had already accepted a couple, like an offer over the weekend or maybe in the last couple of days. He's like, you called me just in time. I'm taking offers right now. He's like, and I said, and then so Chris said, can we go by, give us the code? We'll go by, take a look at it, and then we'll give you an offer like Tuesday. And he said, yeah, that's cool. So we're going to be, Chris and I will be working on that offer. So I took the students to that facility. It was a boat and RV storage. And we walked around, we counted all the bays, we calculated all the square footage. And actually we asked some of the people that were there was a couple of people there like parking their RVs and stuff, because it's a really nice kind of like covered boat and RV storage place. We asked a couple of people like, what are you getting charged per month? And they told us like it was $100 for their bay or whatever. So we calculated $100 and like kind of calculated the whole thing up, and really just by being there, looking at the facility, counting all the bays up, and really kind of just running the numbers that way, we figured out what our offer is going to be, and we're going to put the offer in tomorrow. So and that's with the owner really not giving us any information. It's just a little bit of information. Now obviously when we put the offer in, we're going to say like, this is our offer based on these numbers, right? This is what we're calculating. If you let us know if they're making more or less, and we can we can renegotiate the offer. But essentially for not knowing any information and just driving around and looking at your facility, calculating all your square footage up and calculating your numbers, this is what our offer is. Right. So we'll just put the offer in. And in fact, we do that quite often. We just put in offers, just to see what happens. And this is how we've gotten so many storage facilities under contract. And but anyway, so I wanted to show you how we found so many owners in literally like a day. I mean, Karen put the list together. All right. And then Chris called the list. And then after Chris called the list, we met, and then we decided which facilities we were going to go to. I picked the 10 facilities of the owners. Out of all of those people, we found 10 facilities that want offers right now. Okay. And out of those 10 facilities, 5 of them wanted them like immediately, and then 2 of them could meet us. So we concentrated on those 5. And so for our Infield Training Day, we drove to all 5 of those facilities. All the students got to walk around. We got to run numbers and try to figure out what offers we could put in. And then so we did not make it to all 5 facilities, even though we were the entire day driving around. We only made it to 5 facilities and got to talk to 2 owners, and it was a great day. But I still have 5 more facilities that I have to go to and come up with offers in the next couple of days, and that's what I'll be doing. But essentially, I wanted to show you how I find my facilities, because everybody that I talk to says, I can't find any facilities. Right. But the truth of the matter is that if you create a system exactly right, the way that I just did it, you should be able to find facilities to buy. And if you cannot talk on the phone to the owners and get facilities to give you the information that you need, you are not the right person to be talking on the phone. And also another thing is, if you say, I've been looking for facilities, but I can't find anything to buy, that means that you are not doing it correctly, and you should really work with somebody that can help you to put the system together and do it correctly, right? Because the truth is that we are finding owners that want offers, right? Now, whether or not those numbers match up, whether or not like we actually come to an agreement, that's a different thing. But we are finding owners that want us to give them offers. And this is exactly how we did it. Okay. All right, good. Okay, cool. So that is my spiel, and I'm sticking to it. Make sure you check out storagenerds.com. The doors are closed to Storage Nerds right now because I'm concentrating on helping my students find deals and put them under contract. But the doors will be open in May, so you can get onto the wait list. Right, so make sure you get onto the Storage Nerds wait list. Number 1. If you have any questions, put them into the chat, and I can help you to answer those really quickly. And then finally, don't forget about my course, Super Simple Self-Storage. And everybody that comes to the webinar tonight that is not a student, that is not part of the program, you get a discounted rate. It's stacyrossetti.com/flash-sale. That's the sale price for anybody that comes to the webinar. This is the only time that I ever announce that. That link is right here. Let's see what else. And and then also don't forget about the Self Storage Fund of America. And we will be launching that this week. So make sure you hop on and help me, help me to raise the money, listen to my pitch, and help me to better my pitch, because that's what I need to do, is just get better at pitching. Okay. All right. I appreciate you hanging out, and I look forward to seeing you on the next session. All right. Take care.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Storage Nerds. Hope this informative conversation inspired you to go out there and jump into this highly profitable business venture that people rarely talk about. Get more tips on storage space investing at www.stacyrossetti.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and leave a rating. Together, let's build that thriving passive income one storage space at a time. Until next time.